Hey guys, get ready with me while I tell you how I unintentionally broke up a marriage in Ibiza. So me and my family went on holiday to Ibiza this year, about 4 months ago. And I'm not even gonna hide his name. His name was Sandro. So this holiday was before my birthday. So I was 14. I don't want to get banned, but yeah. So Sandro was a bartender along with other bartenders, and you know when you just have like a little crush, like obviously nothing's gonna happen, just like a little crush. So I was sat down on this table and he gave me a note with his Instagram on. At the end of this video I'll put up the photo, because I took a photo of his Instagram, like the note, but I'm gonna cover his Instagram out. Okay, so I added his Instagram and he didn't accept it. So then he made a literal account on Instagram, like user 1234. But I didn't question it. I did think it was like weird, but I didn't question it. So the night came, it was about 10 PM. I was with my friends called Max and Sky and my brother. And I asked him, how old are you? He said he was 19. I was like, okay, not that bad. Obviously that is bad, but like it's not as bad as what I thought he was. But considering he didn't look 19, I did ask his bartender friends how old he was, and they all said he was 19. I was like, okay, that's fine. So I told him I was 14 at the time, and he said, oh, 14 is our age of consent, So he was Spanish, and he was like teaching me really inappropriate words and saying there were different words. I was like, so a couple of days go by, and I'm here for 2 weeks, by the way. So he asked me to meet him at night, and I'm like, I'm not going to meet you by myself. I'll meet you with my friends. And he was like, oh no, meet me by yourself. I was like, no, not happening. So he came and found me with my friends. I was like, what are you doing? But then he went back to his wife and his kid, by the way, his 3-year-old little girl. I was like, but I didn't know he had a wife or a kid at this point. Like, I didn't know until the very end, and we'll come to that. So the days go by, we're just literally flirting, like nothing actually has happened or anything, like we haven't met up, we're just like flirting, like just like casual flirting, like yeah. And then in the day he messaged me on Instagram saying like what his work times was. Like I think he started work at 9, and in Spain they have this thing where they have like a long break, and I think he had a break from 1 till 8 or 9. So a couple of days in, I know where he works because he works in different places, because there's like 4 bars I think. So I just go meet him at his bars and we just talk, like nothing weird, we just literally just talk about random stuff. But then he started like flirting, like weird flirting. I was telling him like, you do know like I am 14, like I am a minor, and he stuck by the fact that consent age is 14 and I was not going to have with this bartender. So one of the nights he didn't turn up to work, so I asked one of his bartender friends like, where is Sandro? And he was like, oh, he's with his wife. And I thought he was like messing about, because like he told me he doesn't have a girlfriend, wife or kid, like nothing like that. So I asked Sandro, I messaged him saying like, do you have a girlfriend? And he replied at like 2 in the morning saying like, no I don't. Who told you that? And I was like, oh, your bartender friend did. And he was like, oh, don't believe him, he's lying, he's got a wife, like, just don't believe him. I was like, okay, whatever you say, because like, I'm obviously going to trust him more, because the other guy was laughing while he was saying it, so I just kind of like trusted Sandra more. So me and my friends were hanging out at about midnight, and he came up to me and my best friend Sky, and Jaden, and Max, and he was wearing skinny jeans. I was like, what are you wearing? But anyway, he came to us after he went from this other hotel, and we were like, why is he here? And he was like, oh, I'm just signing out from work. So he was like, guys, wait here for me, like we'll hang out. And I was like, okay, we'll wait here. It comes like an hour. We were like, we're going back home, or to our hotel rooms. So it comes the next day, obviously because I've got a child wristband, I can't get alcohol, but he gave us alcohol. So he was like our little, I don't know, just he gave us alcohol, me and all my friends. But he would tell his friends like really inappropriate stuff that he wanted to do to me, and his friends would tell me on Google Translator, because we just use Google Translator and everything to like talk, and I was like, what the hell? And my brother found out. Okay, so a couple of days went by and I was saying goodbye to my gay best friend Jaden, and me and Sky and Max were all there together. Actually, I don't think Max was there, and my brother. And this lady came up to me saying, do you know Sandro? On Google Translator, because obviously they're Spanish and I'm English. And I said, yeah, why? And she was like, follow me. I was like, okay, can my friends come in? She was like, no, just you. And I was like, my friends come in. So me and this lady went and sat down on this bench, and we was like Google Translate and everything. And I told her everything that I know and what he said, because if this is his girlfriend, I'm going to tell her. Because I'm not the type of girl to keep a secret from a man that I don't know, and someone I'm not with, and I don't trust. So she says, how old are you? And I say, I'm 14. And she like actually stands up and like starts crying. I'm like, what's wrong? And she goes, he is 29. We're all like, what the actual hell has just been said? She was like, I've been dating him for 3 years on Google Translate. And she was like actually having like a panic attack and crying. I was like comforting her, obviously. And I was just telling her everything I know and like everything she needs to know. And she was like, please like tell me what he says to you. So they broke up. They were married they broke up, but they didn't divorce yet. So I asked him the next day, no, like I told him, you were lying the whole time, like you had a girlfriend, you have a child. He has a 3-year-old little girl. I had to go at him. I was like, you literally have a child. He walked off with like his little cups. I was like, I told his friends, like they lied to me as well. They said he was 19, he was 29. He was literally double my age. But that does not stop him that I was 14 and he knew I knew. So he was still trying to flirt with me. So I was just telling his girlfriend everything. So she came up to me every opportunity she got, and it was so embarrassing because sometimes my parents were there and I'd have to like ignore her, because obviously I don't want my parents knowing that there's a pedo on site, because my dad will go ballistic.
Girl, she just wanna have fun too. They say you ain't wifey type, but I don't care, I want you. She like to do drugs too. She in love with but I like that girl so much I wish I never met her.
So they ended up divorcing, and I felt so bad, like, but he has done this to many other girls. Like his wife told me that he done this to a German girl last week, and then he got caught having in their hotel room, because they live in the hotel because they work there, like last year. And they've all been underage, by the way. But this girl messages me every other day, like asking if we spoke. And I'm like, no, I blocked him. Like, I have not spoke to this boy since holiday. But honestly, my heart is out to this girl because she's so lovely and she's so gorgeous. And I feel so bad because she's literally got a whole child. And she thought that he loved her. But in fact, he's just a... Anyway, this is the makeup. And thank you so much for watching. And let me know if you want another story time. Anything.
Get ready with me while I tell you how I was stalked for over a year and didn't even know it. This is my first story time and I wanted to go all in. This is gonna be a bit longer of a video, but it gets crazy. A stranger shows up at my house, stays there, waits for me. I almost died. This all started 2 years ago when I moved provinces, and I moved alone. So I moved to a province in Canada. We're in Canada right now. I moved to a province where I knew nobody. I had no family. It was like a start over, reset on my life. And about a month after settling in here, I finally found some friends and we decided to go to the club on Saturday. So we're partying, we're drinking, and by 1 a.m., 2 a.m., I'm like super intoxicated. But obviously, I can still hold it down. You know what I mean? But my full senses were not there. And me and my friends are thinking about leaving the club. Mind you, I'm new to this province, so all of my friends that I've known are at this club. There was literally nobody else in the province that I knew that was not clubbing with me that night. All of my friends were there, but it was so weird because I received a call. And it's weird because this call came from my apartment lobby telephone. So it means somebody is at my apartment trying to either be let in or trying to speak to me through the phone. So I answer, and it was super loud in the club. I could barely hear, but this person comes on, and let's just say they tell me their name is G. And it was so weird because I started going out on dates, and the man on the phone that stated his name was G, I had just went on a date with somebody who was named G. And we were texting. When I was out at the club, we were texting, and he had told me he was super far away, partying with his friends, like somewhere else. So when this call in the lobby was saying they were G, I was like, oh, I thought you were super far away. Like, this is super weird, because we had only been on one date, and he dropped me off. He didn't even come inside. So I'm like, why would he just randomly show up at my house? I was kind of sussed out about it, and I didn't even know, like, the G that I was talking to well enough to not think it was sus. Like, we went on one date, so I was like, hold on, like, I'm just gonna call your personal phone, like, I'm not gonna let you in, just like 1 sec, I'm just gonna call you on your phone. So then when I end up calling my G on his phone, he says that he's still at the party, which is like an hour away from my house, and he's not the one that's calling me from the lobby. And this is when I started to feel a little panicked, because I was like, you're playing with me, like, you're joking, this is so freaking weird, like, who's standing at my door then? But because it was the apartment phone, I can't call it back. There's no camera. I couldn't see who was standing there. There was no way of recalling and asking, like, who the hell are you? So I just went on with my night. Mind you, I was intoxicated at the club with all my friends. The night had to go on. So now it's about 3 a.m. and the club is letting out. I tell my friends to drive me home, and they beg me to come out and eat with them until about 4 a.m. So I decided to go with them to eat, and then they would drop me off at home after. And all my friends knew about the call that I had received and how I was feeling weird. So when they dropped me off, they just waited for me to get into the apartment doors, which I need like a key to get into, make sure I wasn't being followed in, anything like that. But I was fine. I got to my apartment fine, like showered for the night and went to bed. Honestly, I was so drunk, I kind of forgot about it. And then the next morning, I wake up and I don't have Facebook on my phone, but sometimes I get like email messenger notifications. And when I was checking my email the next day, I see that someone was trying to contact me on my dead Facebook account, which is like 6 years old, that I don't use. Then when I go click on those email notifications, like it takes me to my Facebook. I have to re-log in, and like nothing's there, as if the person had like deleted the messages. I couldn't see the profile, but I saw on the email like a picture of this person's profile and like the name they were using as G, trying to contact me. So whoever was at the door was also trying to text me on Facebook. And it was so weird because I had never seen this profile picture in my entire life. And I was super weirded out, but like I did not know what to do. Like, what was I supposed to do? Contact the police? Tell my parents and have them worry? Like, no, I just told my friends. I gave my location to my friend as well, just in case. But I really like had to move on with my life. Yeah, so I did. The next week, I literally, life as usual, business as usual, whatever. But after a week, it was really starting to bother me. Like, I did not know who this person was. I felt like somebody knew exactly who I was, right, on Facebook, found me on Facebook, was trying to gain access into my place. And this is like 3 a.m. while I'm at the club on a Sunday morning. Like, this person probably didn't know I was clubbing, but like, what are you doing showing at my house at 3 a.m.? I don't know who you are. And you're expecting me to let you in? Like, I was scared. So I have security in my buildings on the weekends. And one weekend he was there and I normally sit and talk to him. So I was like, hey, like, would you actually be able to pull up the cameras for me? That way I can get a good look on this guy's face. And this is like 7 days after it happened. The security guard tells me he's not allowed, but he allows me to anyways because I'm just a girl, which big shout out to you, my guy. For real. Once he pulls up the right dates, the right times, he finds the man who was standing there and calling me, and he tells me to come and look and see if I know him. Tell me why, in pixelated form, I'm looking at like a 6'3" black dude that I've never seen in my fucking life. I was getting so into it. I just did whatever with the blush. I'm going crazy here. But standing in the camera is this tall ass black dude, okay? And he has a duffel bag and a big ass trench coat. Like, the winter just started. He didn't need to be fully dressed up, fully everything, but he came fully equipped for whatever he was doing at my place at 3 a.m. He had a duffel bag on him. I don't know what he was doing. And it's like literally so weird. Never seen this dude before. And he's showing up to my place with a duffel bag in his hands. Doesn't get crazier. So I was asking the security guard, like, I don't know him. What am I supposed to do? And he was like, to be honest, like, we can't do anything because he didn't do anything. But, like, let's see where he went after, what happened after you didn't let him in. And so the phone is like a little touch screen, like with everybody's name in the apartment. You can go down the list. You can call people and they can let you in. And when I didn't let him in, that's exactly what he did. He called everybody else in the apartment complex until someone let him in. Until somebody just pressed 9 on their phone, was like, oh, this is probably Uber Eats. Just let him in. Somebody let him into the building. So when I was at the club with my friends at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, guys, take me home, he was granted access to my apartment. And from 3 to 3:30, you see him chilling at the elevators waiting for me to get home. Or waiting for me. I don't know if he knew that I wasn't home. I don't know what was going on, but he sat there and he waited once he let someone in. When someone let him in. Literally on the security footage that the security guard was showing me, you can see him waiting for me by the elevators, not even in the lobby anymore. He leaves after 30 minutes of sitting there waiting for me, and then 20 minutes later on the little camera, you can see my drunk ass waltz in to my place. And you can see me wave, bye to my friend. Everything's okay. He wasn't even waiting for you in the lobby, queen. He was waiting at the elevators. My friend would have thought I was okay. And if he was still chilling there, he would have snatched me up. But it was literally by chance that my friends told me to stay out, grab something to eat with them. Like, and the thing is too, that I think about now is I wouldn't have even known he was sitting there and that was him. You know, I didn't even know who I was looking for. I didn't know who he was. So I would have just walked right past him, assumed that he was sitting there waiting for somebody else, and I would have just walked in. Like, maybe he lives here too. I don't know. I would have just walked right past him. This is where I finally start to get scared. I realize, okay, this is actually a big issue. Like, this person knows where I live, shows up with a duffel bag, was waiting for me. If he can do it once, he'll probably do it again. Like, he knows too much. I don't know enough. Time to bring out the FBI agent, okay? Literally, I turned into Liam Neeson. And I said, I will fucking find you. And that's exactly what I did. This video is gonna run out in 30 seconds, but if you wanna know how I caught him and fuck shit up, you're gonna wanna tune into the part 2. And when I tell you who this guy is, how he found me, and how he knows me, like, the story picks up. It picks up. You're gonna wanna see the part 2. Finish makeup look, come back to see the hair, and come back to tell you how I was basically the FBI and solved my own case. Part 2 of my stalker story while I get ready for Pilates. So we left off where we had this man show up at my house. I had no idea who he was. And yeah, basically I saw him in the cameras a week later and thought I had to get down to the bottom of it. So now this is like 7 days later. I'm with my G. We had gone out on like a second date and he was just over chilling, and honestly I was telling him like, yo, like, I'm actually scared. Like, what the hell, what if something happens to me? Like, you always see these things and you never think it's you. Like, I'm like, this literally sounds like the leading steps to a new Dateline episode. Okay, like, I love true crime. Not enough to be in one though. I'll be the one solving it, but I won't be the one it's about. So like, the only hint or clue that I even had to try to find this person was that notification that I got that this person was trying to contact me on Facebook. So I remembered sort of, because he deleted the messages, like, it literally deleted. Like, I have no idea where. So I was just relying on my memory of that drunken night when I saw his profile picture. Like, I just had to remember, like, kind of like the aesthetic on it, and I kind of did. So I just went and searched G in the literal entire area of where I'm living, like the province that I'm living. I was looking for anyone with the name of G that lived within like a 500-kilometer radius, okay? Like, I don't even fucking know, y'all. I just searched G and I started going. And then finally, like, I stumbled across this profile and I'm like, this is the one. Like, with 95% certainty. So I told my G, like, hey, I think this is the one, but, like, I'm not sure. Like, what do you think we should do? He takes my phone and he's like, let me handle it. So he goes and he calls this account. And I was like, okay, like, just be nice. Like, I'm still not sure, because imagine you're not sure and, like, it's not the person. Like, I just couldn't, you know what I mean? And we're using my Facebook profile. I don't know. I was just like, please, like, hey, let's just go in there. Let's be civil. My G, as soon as the phone picks up, is literally like, oh, like, we know it's you. This is what happened. You know what you did. And then the woman on the other line is like, who the hell is this? Like, why are you calling this number so late? Like, blah, blah. And she was like low-key mad and saying that we were like crazy and you know what I mean? Like, it's just impossible. And she like wasn't giving up like who she was, who this profile even belongs to. She was just being super deflective, which is like, whatever. And I let my G do all the talking because I hate conflict. I wasn't gonna, you know what I mean? I'm just a girl. But once the girl was kind of like, to my G, she was kind of like, oh, like, this is bullshit. Like, you guys are lying, like, blah, blah, blah. I just stepped in and I was like, hey, girl, like, girl to girl. I was like, hey, girl, like, this is what's happening. Like, I'm just scared. I just wanted to know. Like, I have a feeling it was this profile. Like, I could be wrong, but, like, this is literally, like, the address to my apartment. Like, I was like, this is where I live. This is the area that I'm living in. Like, by chance, do you live around here? Like, do you ever visit here often? Like, it's just super weird that this is the profile that I think it is. So, like, any information. And she almost, like, goes silent. And that freaked me out. And afterwards, she's like, okay, yeah, like, we do live around there, like, super close to what you're saying. And, like, the dates that you're bringing up, like, he was out. And I was like, well, who is this man to you? Like, who, you know, we're talking about he's not in the room with us. Like, where is this guy? And she's like, he's sleeping right now. Sorry. Like, I'm gonna wake him up, though, and we're gonna get to the bottom of this because this profile is my baby daddy's. And I want to know desperately if this is true because I'm pregnant with another one of his kids. Like, when I tell you, I literally gasped. I'm like, in what type of plot? And, like, automatically, like, I just felt bad, okay? I felt icky. Like, at the start, you know, like, it's fun, it's games. It's not even fun in games, okay? I'm just a very, like, go with the flow. I'll be happy about it, you know? It's main character energy. You know what I mean? I don't know how I was feeling personally, but, like, all of the bad feelings, all of the sad feelings, all of, like, the scared feelings, like, I was so sad. Because literally, like, imagine, like, you're a man that you're deciding to have kids with, and then you get a call in the middle of the night, like, from this younger girl, right? Like, my heart goes out to her. For real, for real, for real. Like, I couldn't. Like, and that's why, like, it's so sad, but I can't. Like, I literally can't even fathom. Like, I'm sorry. So she's like, I'm gonna wake him up. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. And we're like, okay, go do it, girl. Go. So you hear, like, rustling in the back. You hear the scrounging. You hear it all. And then, like, finally, he gets onto the phone, and all you hear is, hello. And out of nowhere, my G is like, you know what you did? You know what you did? You showed up here in the middle of the night to my girl's place. You know what you did. Don't even try to like, does not even let this man get another word in. I'm sitting there kind of flustered. Like, these two G's are like, are they fighting over me? But no, but like, you know, it's our second, third time seeing each other, y'all. And like, he was defending. I was automatically like, Anyway. The other guy on the phone just literally, you know, Stalker G was literally like, I'm sorry. Does not even explain himself, doesn't anything, just like admits to it. And then you can hear the phone get snatched back by baby mama. And she is literally like, I am so sorry. I'm going to talk to him. No, you have no reason to be scared because this will never happen again. Like, I know he got his ass whooped. Okay, because I was scared. I was scared of her. I was like, oh my God. Like, You know what I mean? Like, she was pissed, and rightfully so, girl. Like, get him. But she told us we didn't have to worry anymore, that she would deal with it, that she was so sorry, that he would never bother me again. And then, you know, she says thanks so much because we enlightened her on what her man was doing. She was, like, thanking us, and, like, honestly, it was, like, super nice. Like, it was, like, girl power, you know what I mean? I was like, you go get him, and she was like, yes, I will. And I was like, I'm gonna be living my life over here, but y'all stay safe, y'all, you know what I mean? Like, it was good. I think I'm gonna send them a Christmas card this year. I'm not, but... And then so I thought it was over, but it was super weird because I never actually directly talked to the stalker G. Like, I have no idea, like, what was his purpose, what was anything. That was until the next morning. I woke up to a bunch of DMs on Instagram. And Stalker G, I didn't even know he had my Instagram because everything before, right, was on Facebook. But no, like, I guess he found me on Instagram and not Facebook. I don't know if he was doing that from the library computer because he was kicked out of his house and, like, his baby mama has access to his Facebook clearly, so he had to go. I have no idea. But when I woke up, there was a long message, and the message read, "Hi, Alana, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to scare you when I showed up at your house that night. I wanted to talk to you about something." He said that he just needed to know me because a year before he showed up at my place, a whole 365 before he showed up at my place with the duffel bag that night, he said that I was leaving one of the metros that I commonly use. And he named the metro that I use every day to go to and fro from work. He said that one night I was leaving the metro and it was kind of icy and I had slipped on ice, but I had caught myself. So I was kind of like, whoop. And then I like looked around to see if anybody noticed that like I almost slipped and fell, but like I had caught myself. And he said that apparently we had like locked eyes, like just as strangers. I locked eyes with him and I went, huh, like, oh, that was a close one. And so like we just locked eyes as strangers and I was like, oh, what are you gonna do? Like, it's icy out here. I never said that, but like that's the kind of motion I was given in my shoulders. Like I was just trying to be like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just out and about. I'm living my life. I don't gotta explain myself. Like, that's just what I did, okay? And then he said that in that moment when we locked eyes, this is in his text message, y'all. He said that in that moment, he was infatuated. He fell in love at first sight. He said from there, he followed me all the way home, right? Because I was going from the metro to home. He followed me that entire way. And through that, that's how he saw where I lived. And then the next day, he said he was at the metro at that same time, and he saw me at that same time leaving the metro again. So that's how he knew that I was taking the metro to and fro work. And then he went on to name the gym that I go to, like places that I normally frequently like walk. Like I walk to everything. He was literally naming like the places that I went to and the things that I do. He was like, yeah, I've been following you for a while now and I just needed to know you. I needed to know your name. I'm infatuated, I'm in love. And I said, get in line. I didn't say that, I was flattered. I didn't respond, I didn't text back. It was so freaking weird. And I was literally like, whoa, the fuck, this is compromise. Like my entire life has been compromised. Everything that I've been doing for the past year, I've been doing with an audience and I ain't even know. Hell, I'm outside all day with my AirPods on max. So yeah, he told me he would leave me alone. He said he was sorry that he scared me, and that was that. Craziest thing though, his apartment is right in front of my apartment. And so now that I know him, I see him every single day. And I walk by him, and he has one kid in his hand, and he's pushing the newborn on the swing. So I guess they're still together, or maybe he has custody, I have no idea, but I see him every day now. I see him every day, and he looks...
You guys love my story time, so I'm going to give you what you want. So obviously all of this happened on a random Friday night. I wasn't trying to cause any trouble. To be honest, at first I wasn't even trying to sneak out, but then the group chat started buzzing. I'm not going to give the real names of the people, so let's call one boy Daniel and one boy Oscar. And then it was obviously me and another girl called Bella. So Daniel sent a message to the group chat saying that everyone's pulling up to Jay's house. This is one of our other friends, but he's not in our friendship group. Basically saying that his parents are out of the country and it's going to be lit, so come. So obviously at that point, I really want to go because there's a party and what the hell, I'm normally like a homebody, but I was really bored that Friday night. So I'm just staring at that message and thinking, what can I do? Because I know my parents are not going to let me out. Everyone's already messaging me. Bella's asking me, how are we going to get there? Let's go. Obviously my room is 3rd floor, so I got up with a plan like really quickly. So my house does have alarms and cameras everywhere except the garden. and when we go to sleep, obviously my parents put the alarm on. At this point it was like 7 p.m. Usually I go to sleep really late, so I had this game plan basically to put some clothes under my bed and act like I'm sleeping there. Make sure to tell my parents that I'm going to have an early night to fix my sleeping schedule because they know it's not good. So I rolled with that. I said good night to my parents. I put the clothes in my bed to make it seem like there's someone sleeping in there. So obviously my room is facing the garden and on 3rd floor, so the 2nd floor I can access it really quickly and then go down to the garden. So that is exactly what I do. I open my window and try get to the 2nd floor without making any noise or hurting myself. So this was all at about 11:49ish. It took me about 5 minutes to get down to the garden. Obviously my parents go to sleep really early because they need to wake up to take my siblings to school. And then obviously by Friday they just feel really tired, so they go to sleep at that time anyways. My friend came to actually pick me up. We got to the house of Jay's. It was actually so fun. I've never had so much fun, especially with me like having to stress about sneaking out. Like, I don't know. It was just all so fun. Up until 2:30 a.m. my phone starts buzzing, like spam buzzing. I'm like, what the hell, who's texting me at this time? And I check and it's my mother. She goes, where are you? In all capital letters. I'm gonna leave it like this. Comment if you want a part 2.
Hi guys, get ready with me while I tell you how I almost got kidnapped when I went missing and got chased by police. Okay, I've just finished my brows and now I'm going to go into the story time. Okay, so me and Sophie, who was like my best friend for like quite a short period of time, but like we were like very close when we were like friends, and I was having like family problems, so we were both like, let's just run away. Also ignore the background, my cousin's there. She was like, let's just run away. I was like, wait, that's such a good idea. So we went to school as usual on the school bus, and we had the whole day at school. We didn't mention it to literally anyone. Like, we just went to school and did our normal day. And we decided, I think in the afternoon, that we were actually going to run away, because I had never really like properly run away before or anything like that, because I had no reason to. But I just thought it would be like fun, and I'd have like some freedom. Not that I didn't have any freedom, because I did, but I don't even know why. Also, I'm not suggesting anyone's run away. Not a good experience. Hello. So me and Sophie finished our school day at 3:30, and we got on the school bus, and it goes to 4 different destinations, and we got off at the last one, which was near her house. So we went to her house first. At this point, my mum already knew I was missing, because I normally went and met my dad at the shop to get picked up and go home at around 4, and it was 4:40, nearly 5. So she already knew I was missing, so she was messaging me, and I was obviously not answering because I'll blow my cover. So I was just like, I'm not answering her, and then she goes, I know you're with Sophie. So when we got off the bus and we went to Sophie's house, we literally dumped everything out of our school bags and just put in like essentials, which were definitely not essentials. So yeah, and then we left our house and went to Morrison's and went and did my makeup and got dressed. So we had these friends called Kenzie and another boy, I can't remember his name, and it was like nothing like that, we were just friends. But I didn't actually know who these people were, so I wasn't really friends with them, she was friends with them. So we were going to his house, well, the other boy's house, I can't remember his name, and they actually didn't meet us. So it was raining, I was wearing shorts and I think a t-shirt. It was literally, also at this point this is like 6 or 7 p.m, so it's getting like later. Okay, so we got to this boy's house and I thought we were sleeping there, because where else were we gonna sleep? On the streets? No. Turns out he did say that we could sleep around, but we couldn't, because he has his parents. So I was like, oh. So it gets about 8 o'clock and he's like, right guys, we need to leave, you guys need to leave, like we need to go out or something. So I'm like, okay, we'll go out. So we went to Tesco's, got a pick and mix, got a trolley. I don't know why we got a trolley, we just did it to like push each other around in, which was not really fun. It was cold. I wanted to go to sleep, but obviously I know to sleep now, so we could not go to sleep. Okay, and then they ended up having to leave, so we were like two girls just in the dark wandering around. And then he says, oh, you can go to my cousin's house, like you can probably stay there. So we all go to his cousin's house because it's pouring down with rain and we just have nowhere else to go, so we go to his cousin's house called Lexi. Okay, so we found out we cannot sleep at this girl's house, so we're like, great. So we literally have nowhere to sleep now. So I'm actually not too sure what we did after that, but I know we ended up in the main town of where the place was. Bearing in mind, the police station was 2 minutes away from where we were, and obviously I was reported to the police at like 6 and she was reported to the police at 9. So me and her literally just went to a car park and was just like trying to keep ourselves warm, like just talking, walking around the car park, literally doing nothing else. But we had a plan to go back to the girls' house in the morning at like 7 and then meet back up with these boys and then go on a train somewhere different so the police wouldn't got like know where we are. So then we went back to this park and it was like really dark and it was like kind of moist because obviously it was like condensation. We were just sat on like the slide and then this really like weird man starts following us, like when we get up to go walk back to the car park. And I was like, oh, obviously we both don't have phones because we lost our phones before, so we had no way of contacting anyone obviously, and no one knew where we were. So we were like, what if we get kidnapped? Like, so I turn around and like say, like, what are you doing? Bearing in mind this has been like 20 minutes, so I go like, do you need something? Like, why are you like following us? And he goes, oh, I'm not following you, I'm just going home. I was like, bearing in mind it's Tuesday, it is 4 in the morning, and this guy was not a normal guy. This is like someone who was wearing like all black. So he like asked to walk us home and we were like, no, you're not walking us home. And he just kept going like, oh, just let me walk you home, like you'll be safe with me. And I was like, no. And then the girl that I was with, that I was friends with, goes, we're not even going home. Why she would say that, I have no idea. So I end up saying to Sophie, look, I'm not being like followed anymore, like I'm going. So I literally just sprint to this Tesco car park, and when we ran I think he got the sign that we were not. So we go back to the car park and then we just decide like it would be a really great idea to go to this bench in the middle of the whole town. So I'm literally nodding off on this bench on my friend's like I was lying down and my face was like on her lap, and I see these two headlights and I'm like, oh, it's a white car, it's fine, because I was like half asleep so I didn't know what was going on. But considering I didn't know what car it was, I gave the policeman, because it was a police car, enough time to get out of the car, and we literally sprinted. So then we were running into this like main road. There was 3 ways to go, so we were running this way out to the main road, so I was there, that way and that way you could go. My friend went straight and I went left, so I was like, this is about to get confusing. But her policeman, because obviously there was 2, hers fell in the road and then mine looked over to his, because we were looking behind at this point because we were like running but like also like checking, and then my one fell in the road. I was like, what's going on? And I felt so bad, and this is really bad, but I don't know if they're meant to do this, but I felt really bad that they fell, so I went back to them. Bear in mind this is like 6 in the morning now. So the police got a hold of us and I was waiting because I live about a 30-minute drive from this girl's house, and as I said earlier in the video, I left my phone at Sophie's house, but I didn't think I said that, but I definitely said that I didn't have my phone. So I left my phone at Sophie's house so I couldn't be tracked or anything. So we had to, well, the police didn't, but the next day my mum drove on my phone, but obviously I wasn't allowed to. So me and this girl were in 2 separate cars, and yeah, but I thought, like, considering it's 6 in the morning, like 6:30ish now, that my mum won't make me go to school. Wow, I was very wrong. So I got home at about 7. She made me go to school at 7. I don't blame her. Honestly, I would do the same to my kid. And obviously they did like search my house and everything, and I did like create a lot of stress in my home for no reason. But I'm not excusing this, but I was 13 at the time. But yeah, if anyone's thinking about running away or anything, please just message me and I will help you out. Because you honestly may feel like you're running away from the problem, but honestly the problem is just going to get way bigger and may implicate you to literally get put in care. So honestly, you always have someone to talk to and my DMs are always open. Also, if you have watched this far, please comment any flower emoji. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!